Hi guys, welcome back. I've had a lot of requests to do a how to do your brow wax at home video. I think it's because I waxed Shan's brows ages ago in one of her vlogs. So I'll be waxing my brows today to show you guys. And just before we start, the type of wax I'm using, this is kind of like in a puck form. You can also get it in like little tiny beads, which I'm sure you would have seen online. I've seen a few people on TikTok have little home wax pots and they like pour all the beads in and melt it that way. So those are both forms of what we call hard wax. Hard wax in general is better for like intimate areas, your face, and that's because it hardens around the hair, and when you rip it off it takes the hair with it. Another wax that you might have seen a lot of is more of like your softer wax, the one where people put like a strip of fabric on top of and rip. It's a good way to get like really fine sort of baby hairs or a large area of hair, kind of like your legs. But the thing with that wax is you can't really go over multiple passes onto the skin because it's going to get quite irritating, because it does lift that top layer of skin with it as well each time. So hard wax is a great option for something like eyebrows, bikini, braids, all that good stuff, because it doesn't actually lift the skin. You can keep going over multiple times, which is good for areas that have that thicker hair and like multiple hair directions. So I'm going to take you through step by step of what I did in clinic. I literally did hundreds, probably thousands of eyebrows. The wax pot and wax that I'm using is like a salon only one, but you can get so many consumer available wax products. So I will find some and link them down below. I always see them, even I think like the supermarket has them in Chemist Warehouse. Also excuse all the Casey bags, I just have these from when I was in clinic, but this is not like Casey brand wax or anything, just to clarify. So without further ado, let's get into it. Assuming you've put your wax pot on, you usually want to give it about half an hour to warm up. You can crank it up to a really high setting if you like, if you're in a hurry. You're just going to have to be really mindful to make sure that you're winding it around the stick, cooling it off before you put it on the skin, because you don't want it to be like molten and like burn your skin. So generally like a mid-range temperature is what you want. I usually have it in between 3 and 4, kind of your ideal viscosity, like thickness. I'm kind of naughty, I just like leave my hair out, but if you are new to waxing brows, you should probably, oh, it's my phone, you should probably like, yeah, use a headband or something. Again, this is just like what I do at home. So first step is your wax pot being on and ready. Now we want to move on to step 2, which is prepping the area. So I've just cleansed my skin using my CeraVe foaming cleanser. Basically just want to remove any oils from the area. If you are in a pinch, you can't cleanse your skin, you can buy one of these products to prep the skin. It's basically just like a kind of alcohol-y based product. It's just going to strip the area of oils, because if the skin is oily, the wax isn't really going to stick well. It's just going to kind of ball off, not grab all the hairs properly. Yeah, lots of brands will give you like a prep and an after cream with your wax pot if you're buying like a little deal or combo. So you might have these products handy anyway, but if not, you can just go and cleanse your face. This is also kind of optional because my face is cleansed, but I just do this anyway because it gives you really good adhesion. Talcum powder. This is what beauty therapists use. It's like the holy grail in clinic. So I just like to pop some on a little bit of paper, especially if I'm doing a client. Honestly, for me, sometimes I just like raw dog it straight on my fingers. You just want to pat this into the areas. So I'm going to be doing in between the brows, under the brow, and it's not really like sticking or anything because my skin is so dry already, but I just wanted to show you if you do have really oily skin, or you're not sure if your like eyebrows are completely dry after washing your face, or yeah, if you don't have time to wash your face, you can just chuck some of this on. I'm also going to do my little like sideburn area here. I'm going to pop a bit of powder there, and look, if you like don't like pain, I don't find waxing my face all that painful apart from upper lip, which I can't do. It's so stingy. But brows, I don't find that bad. And saying that, it is the week before my period, so pray for me. But if you're not like great with pain, you get a little hot and sweaty, like prepping yourself to rip it off, the talcum powder also just helps absorb any like sweat. Like when I would do Brazilian clients, they tend to get a little sticky and sweaty because it's stressful, like it's so painful. So yeah, probably you'll be fine with your face, but now my skin is like silky to the touch, like it's so nice and dry. So we are ready to move on to our waxing. Step 3 is applying the wax. These are all big ones, but I do have a little pack here. I'll just have to open. These larger popsicle sticks you can use, but I generally tend to use these on like larger areas of skin, and I just get these like skinny ones for the face. You can also use Q-tips in a pinch. I've used Q-tips before, but I think if you are like beginning, these are really user friendly and so cheap. Like you can see I've just got these from a craft store or something for like $1, which I think is even cheaper than on like beauty therapist websites, honestly. I'm just going to open these ones. Ideally, your little station should look like this. Tissues down is good, so when your sticks are kind of like waxy, you've used them, you can just pop them back down. Enough sticks to do your face. Make sure you have, you know, your tweezers out if you want to pluck some at the end, a little spoolie, maybe your talcum powder or your after products. So make a little station, and then you're not going to feel like you're flailing around with hot wax on your face in the middle of the treatment. You can just confidently do it with everything laid out. So let's begin. I'm just going to start by taking a section here to here. You can do your whole brow at once, but I like to do kind of like here to here on each side. So with this hard wax, you want to apply it against the direction of the hair growth, and that's going to help. Say these are the hairs. If you're applying with the hair growth, it kind of like flattens them down, and then when you rip off the wax, it might not catch them all. Whereas if you're applying against the growth, they all kind of like stick up like this, and then they're like in the wax, and then when you rip it, you're going to get a lot more coming out, if that makes sense. I only mention that because with strip wax or your soft wax, it's the opposite you apply with, so just don't worry about any of that. For our hard wax, for our facial wax, we're going to be applying against the grain, so I'm going to go this way. Gonna have to work kind of quickly because it's freezing today. So you just want to get the wax, kind of spin the stick like this to make sure it's forming a little bowl but it's not dripping everywhere. Stretch the skin and then just go against the grain, and don't be afraid, really push into the skin. So once you've pushed in against the grain a few times, you kind of want to backtrack and go the other way, just like that. And usually what I do too, this is why I don't tend to wear gloves when I'm waxing, I like to press. See, it's already hardening, so it's not going to like stick to my finger. Just press it in. Really make sure it's adhering to all the hairs, because I get a lot of those like blonde baby hairs too. Usually I'll stop and do the other eye and then rip this, but honestly it's so cold today. This is already set, so just for demonstration's sake, I will show you. So I keep a hold of the stick and use this to make a little flick. This is just called like lifting the wax. You can also use your fingers or your nail, but I find this the easiest because this is still a little bit tacky. It just like lifts it, and then you have a little tab to pull, psych yourself up, and then rip. And there we have it. Here's our harvest. She's a good one. Also, if you do have a lot of pain, you can press the skin after you rip it off, but I'm so like desensitized to it now. Flipping the stick around, you don't want to be double dipping, especially, I mean look, if it's your personal wax, no one else is ever going to use it. You can, but like it's just more hygienic to not double dip. So using the other end of the stick, go back in, and then same thing, other side. Just apply like this. I didn't hold my skin very taut. See, that's what happens when you don't. Ooh, that was a bountiful crop. Look at that. I get so many little brow hairs under there. That was a good one. Sorry if you find this gross. This is probably not the video for you. And then you get little bits of like wax on the skin. You can just go like that and like get them off, kind of like with blue tack. But yeah, if there's any little stragglers, when you like moisturize your skin at the end, the oils from the moisturizer just melt off any like residual wax anyway, so don't worry too much about it. This stick is all done. I'm going to place it on my tissue and keep going. I tend to do this middle part next. There's a lot of hairs and it kind of creeps into this area, and then after that I'll just do what's left in this middle bit. I don't really get much hair under there. But yeah, honestly, waxing my brows has been a game changer for me. Like, you probably remember my brows back in the day, they were bushy. So this has been a nice way for me to kind of like slow the growth in unwanted areas. Oh, we got a bubble in this one. Kind of random. Alright, so this one, because the hairs are growing this way, kind of upwards, I'm going to drag down. So I kind of do like an X shape to make sure I'm catching the hairs from both sides. I love the colour of this wax too. It kind of looks like bubble gum or something. And if you feel like it's a bit kind of slipping, you can twirl like this. It's just one of those things, like the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. It took me a long time to get a hang of waxing. Everything else came kind of naturally to me, to be honest, but I think because I knew I was inflicting pain on people, I was really wary. It's not something you can be gentle-handed with. You have to just like push it into the skin, push it on, and like rip it off. You can't be like, oh, sorry, oh, oh. You know, you have to really be like, actually being like going hundies is going to make it less painful, you know, so you kind of just have to. Eyebrow hole. So now I'm just going to do under here. You can always use a spoolie as well to kind of like keep seeing the shape as you're going. The camera angle of all this, it's not very flaring and profesh, but I just want you guys to be like up close and personal, you know. Okay, and then we do a flick and a rip. Oh yeah, that's a clean brow. See, we still got a few little stragglers on that one. Okay, so that's really the bulk of the brow done. Now for me, because I'm a hairy Irish ancestry girl, I just kind of do around here too, because I get that like hair up here, and I might do a little bit above the brow too, like just this bit. Love, oh my gosh, putting your makeup on too when you've just got freshly done brows. It's so nice. It's kind of good doing your brows in winter because like it sets so quick. I can pretty much immediately rip it off. You see all the like, this is what we call vellus hairs, like those blonde hairs. I'm trying to think if there's any other tips for you guys. Before you do your waxing, don't use any actives for a few days, like especially retinol. Kind of want to wait at least like a week after using a strong retinol. I know, like kind of chemical exfoliants and things, just for a few nights before. And obviously if you're sunburned, you're having some kind of skin flare up, don't wax over that skin. See, it doesn't look like much, but like it actually is low key. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do, I've kind of like done half of the area, but I'll just do a little bit more. I take like a hefty amount for this part because it's almost like, I was gonna say sideburn, that's not the right area of the face, but it's like a forehead sideburn. She's a hairy gal. I used to say though to my hairy clients, like I had a few that I did full body laser for, and it's like, yeah, it's expensive, it's annoying to have that much body hair, but they always had the most beautiful thick eyelashes, eyebrows, so it's like, you win some, you lose some, right? There's like a full-on head hair on there. I have to remember not everyone's like a sicko and wants to see all the hairs I ripped off like me. Like literally, I do waxing for some of my friends. Like literally, I'll do their Brazilians for them. And they're just like recovering from the wax rip and I'm like, look. Like showing them the strip. I'm like, that was a good one, look. It's a sickness. I love pimple popping videos as well. It's just so satisfying. Last little one, again, as I say, you don't have to go this hundies, but we're here now, so I may as well. Also do as I say, not as I do, because I'm probably gonna put makeup on right now, but usually you wanna like let your skin breathe the rest of the day. I'm just gonna put like zinc cream on, like one of those Cicaplast creams, and just put my makeup over. But I don't know, I feel like my skin's so used to waxing now, it's not really too bothered by it. But yeah, don't do makeup straight after if you can help it. Just pop some gentle active-free skincare on and like an SPF. Try and stay out of the sun, don't exercise that day, all that good stuff. Don't go swimming in chlorine. Will I do any of that? No. I'm gonna put makeup on, but that's because I know my skin really, really well. So you wanna be precautious, you wanna be cautious if you're like new to waxing. So yeah, now we have our beautifully waxed brows. Just gonna give her a little tweeze. Instead of just going straight across, I like to go down like this because it kind of like feathers the hairs. And go like this and just do a few little snippy doodads, and then I lean back like this to see what areas of my brow are darker. Again, this is like so niche because people probably don't have curly, super dense patches of their eyebrows, but oh, that wax is really good. There's not really too much to clean up, to be honest. Just do the odd little. Also, yeah, I don't advise plucking from the middle of your brow for most people. I just have like extreme rogue eyebrows. It was so easy to like put makeup on after this, like I'm not having to match them all to the darker areas, and yeah, you're probably appalled by how like roguely I'm plucking these, but like look how much I just plucked off. Hairy girls unite. If you know, you know. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. You can either go in with something like this after waxing oil. It's basically just going to get any residual wax off and it's going to hydrate the skin. It's got a little bit of tea tree in it as well. It's like antibacterial. I don't think I will use this because I'm going to put makeup on, but I'll just pop a little bit of my Avene Sickle Fate. Sickle Fate? Just realized I've never said that aloud before. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's just like a zinc cream and it's got the thermal water and stuff in it. So good if you ever have a little like shaving rash or irritation, post-waxing, things like that. The zinc and stuff in it just soothes your skin immediately. So I'm gonna pop that first, and then a little bit of my Asano oil over there. This says retinol oil, but it's from the supermarket. It's not gonna have anything active. It's just like a nourishing oil. So I'm just gonna press a bit of that on. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so fresh. You can see I'm going really red now because I'm really dragging my fingers over just to get any wax off. So you can see it's like cleared the area of any wax. But yeah, that is my aftercare and my conclusion of my at-home brow wax. feels so nice and fresh. I hope that this helped you guys out. I've probably missed something. It's kind of like teaching someone to drive a car when you've done it for years. You're like, what do I do? So I really had to try and like break it down into steps. But yeah, I'll link some accessible like at-home wax kits below that I can find, and I hope this helped. It's something I really enjoy doing. I love like at-home treatments. You guys know I do my own press-on nails, I cut my hair at home. It's funny because like obviously I provide treatments for people too, like I'm a makeup artist and like a skin therapist, but I don't know, I guess I just enjoy doing treatments because I like doing them on myself as well. But yeah, it's also like probably a more affordable option too in this economy. So any questions you have, feel free to leave below. I hope that helped, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.